Hello everybody. I'm actually going to change this because I'm facing more this direction, so there we go. Aww, isn't it so cute? So, we are going to do a tea time talk. It's mostly just the exact same thing as me rambling normally, but I'm specifically drinking tea, which I also normally do. I just wanted to make this maybe a little more special. So the tea that I'm drinking is the Herbal Chamomile that came in, I'm going to say August's box of the by subscription, obviously. I'm trying to get through my collection of tea so that I can buy more because I need an excuse to buy more tea and there's only so much cupboard space. So here we are drinking some tea. And it is snowing outside. And I know it is still October and it is absolutely ridiculous that it's snowing outside. All day at work I was hearing it on the radio. Oh, it's gonna snow tonight, it's gonna snow tonight. And they were a little wrong because they said it was gonna snow at 2 o'clock and it waited until just about 6. Or maybe 7, it was maybe 7. Anyway, we were out driving around and suddenly there was a blizzard and we were in the middle of it and the street lights started going crazy and I just wanted to get home, so here I am. This is a wind down routine, I guess. I'm just sitting here talking with y'all. I'm going to start making fire cider, and I know that I haven't completed any of the other tasks that I set out for myself, but we're making mead next week. And my boyfriend decided that he wanted to help, so he's helping. I finally was able to buy the rest of my honey, and I even bought a cinnamon stick. So I'm gonna buy the oranges and the distilled water, and then actually get this set up and going. So by this time, it's gonna be Ostara before it's ready to drink, but we can taste it at Yule probably. A little note on that. As I think I've mentioned before, I absolutely hate Christmas. I just hate it. Not necessarily so Yule, if you want to kind of take those apart a little bit, I guess, and say that Christmas and Yule are not the same thing, which they're not, but it's really hard to kind of shake that Christmas anxiety, I guess, the old memories just coming back from all of the just bad negative things that happened during Christmas. So, winding down and preparing for that. Samhain's probably not going to be much of a special event. I have one Halloween party that I'm supposed to be going to, but I don't even have a costume, and it's really sad. I used to absolutely love Halloween, and I would get all of my costume ready just months in advance. And I would have everything planned out and I would be super excited and just ready to go. I bought the costume for Corpse Bride 2 years ago now, and I even had the blue face paint stuff, the body paint. Yes, there's glitter on my face. I put it there intentionally at work because I found a little jar of glitter and yeah. Anyhow, I don't have a Halloween costume, and this will be the 3rd year in a row, I believe, that I haven't actually dressed up, which is really upsetting. But I bought a wig just on a whim at work the other day. It looks absolutely terrible. It's bright pink, and it's just about the same length as my hair is now. But it looks, it's awful. I even tried to brush it out, but I don't even know what to do with that. I look like the girl from that one show that they would show on the Christmas commercials in between watching Dora. I don't remember what the show was called, but that's what I look like. Little short pink hair and running around with an elf guy. I never watched the show, just the commercial for it. So, yes, the snow is a bit of an unwelcome companion this early in the year. But we do with it what we have, and it does look very pretty as long as you don't have to go out in it. Which unfortunately I do. And at work I basically work in a warehouse. So there's a giant loading door, and there's usually an alarm bell that tells us when a car is driven over it and we have to go out and unload from a car. But the bell has been broken for the last over a week now, I think. And it's been about 25 to 30 degrees every day. So having the door wide open so that we can visually see if someone drives up is very cold. And it's been very bad. But we did get the bell finally replaced today, so work's not going to be so cold. But we do have to be outside a little bit, even when it's snowing, so there's that. Also, there is this absolutely beautiful candelabra, and it has 5 candle slots and like some little dangly black beads, I guess, hanging from it. And I want it so much. But I do need to go through my things and kind of get rid of some stuff before I get more. I'm particularly bad about that. So, and this, quote, studio room is an absolute mess right now. Because my boyfriend thought he was organizing, and all that he did do was take everything out and not put anything away. So right now everything is just out of its container on the floor. So when a 3-day weekend comes around, I may possibly clean up this room. Until then, it's just gonna have to be a disaster. So, yes, this tea time thing is going to be a bit of a ramble. It may eventually turn into a live if that many people want to chat with me, because I have no friends and I'd love to chat with people. But I've never done a live before, and I should probably actually get my laptop up and working if I'm going to do that. So it's going to be that really shaky, grainy, gross webcam camera. But until then, we're just doing this, where I sit down and hopefully have a cup of tea if it cools off a little bit. That's not too bad. Almost tastes like corn. It's like popcorn. It's very interesting. As I said before, you can actually see the whole chamomile flowers in here. Recommendations for this video. I've been not only watching the Mountain Rose Herbs, Susan Weed on there, that is her name that I was going on about the other day, but I've also been watching the Herbal Jedi, I believe. His name is Yarrow. He lives in Canada, and he goes and basically wanders through the forest and explains what types of plants are for what, and it's just really entertaining to watch and very educational as well, because I am always on the lookout for new things to make and forage and grow myself. So I'm also a little worried about my plants because they've been indoors, but as our power bill, I've been trying to keep it from getting too high while I'm paying the power by myself, is they're sitting next to the window in the kitchen, and I'm just really worried that at night it's going to get too cold and it's going to zap them and they're all just going to die. So I've moved them away from the window a little bit, but there's really no other space to put them, which is kind of a pain. And I moved my red vein up to the top of the refrigerator because it's already a low light plant, so I think it's going to like it up there. The story behind that red vein, I don't know if anybody's seen it in my plant videos before, but I found him. He was like 2 leaves worth of a plant in a tiny little pot sitting on a random shelf in Walmart. He wasn't even in the garden center. He was just sitting on a shelf next to all the coffee makers. I was like, what are you doing here? You poor little plant. And I took it home, and I didn't think he was going to survive, but I've transplanted him, I think, at least once, if not twice, into bigger and bigger pots because he's been just doing amazing. As soon as he got home and he got some water in him, he was doing great. And it's one of those that multiplies, or I guess spreads really quickly. So soon enough, he's going to need an even bigger pot. So I really don't think it's too early to start thinking about my next spring plans because I'm having a really hard time settling down into the slow half of the year, as probably a lot of people have a hard time with that. So I just want to think about what I can grow next year and the different kinds of herbs and when I'm going to go forage, because there's not really a lot to forage during the fall, which is kind of boring, I guess, to me, because I really love having projects lined up, and having financial issues is kind of a hindrance to a lot of them. So when I can just pick something and cook it, ferment it, whatever, I love to do that because I always have something going that I can look forward to finishing and picking more of and just showing off my creations to the world, I guess. Anyhow, that probably concludes this video, just because it was meant to be a ramble, but now I'm rambling too much and I don't really have anything more to say. So I love seeing all of your lovely faces, and I hope to see you again soon. Everyone have an absolutely beautiful new moon. I will see you next time. Blessed be.